and this is Delia again. And I have Winnie the Pooh 5-minute stories, and we're going to read the one called Tiggers Moving Day. Scarlett, are you ready with Pooh to read the Tiggers Moving Day? Yay, you love your Pooh, don't you? Okay, here we go. Tiggers Moving Day. One morning, Rabbit was having breakfast at Tigger's house. After he'd eaten, Tigger stood up and stretched. "Time for my morning bounce," he cried. "Spring, spring, spring." "Look out!" Rabbit cried. Thump! Tigger bumped into one of his cupboards and everything flew out. Oops! That happens every time. Because he's a bouncing Tigger, isn't he? "Tigger, you don't have enough bouncing room in this little house of yours," Rabbit said. Plunk! A toy truck toppled off a nearby shelf and landed on Tigger's head. "Ouch!" he cried. "It's true, but what can I do?" "We've got to find you a bigger house," Rabbit declared. "That's all there is to it, Tigger." But Tigger began. "No buts," Rabbit said. "I'm going to organize our friends right away. Don't worry, because we're going to find you the perfect new home." Rabbit quickly gathered everyone. They spent the day looking for the right house for their friend. By the end of the day, the friends were excited about the big new house they had found Tigger. Dang, that's a huge house. "It is a bouncy house," Tigger said. "That's the kind of house Tiggers like best." Best of all, he bounced and bounced and bounced, and he didn't bump into anything. "But I already miss my old house," he said, "and I won't live next to little Roo anymore, and I'll miss him too." "I know you'll miss being neighbors with Kanga and Roo, but now you'll live much closer to me, and we can have fun being neighbors, just like you and Roo did," Christopher Robin said reassuringly. "Do you like to bounce?" Tigger asked. "Sometimes," Christopher Robin said with a smile. "Besides, dear, I promised to bring Roo over to visit just as often as you like," Kanga added. "Well, then, I hope everyone can stay a while," Tigger said. "We can play a game together and eat some cookies." Tigger opened his new pantry, but there were no cookies in sight. He opened his new closet, and there were no games either. "Kinda empty, isn't it?" Eeyore said. "Yeah, Tiggers don't like empty houses. I like my house better before," Tigger said, crossing his arms. Rabbit put his paws on his hips and stared at Tigger. "We aren't finished yet. We need to move all of your things from your old house to this house," he said. "Everything?" Tigger asked. "Every last little thing," Rabbit said. "That's a big job, so we'll have to start first thing tomorrow morning." The friends all regrouped at Tigger's old house the next morning. As Rabbit instructed, everyone brought all the boxes they could find. "Wow, boxes are fun," Roo cried as he jumped up and down in the empty boxes. "Look at me hiding." Tigger joined in on the fun too. "Stop bouncing, Tigger and Roo. There'll be time for fun later," Rabbit grumbled. "We've got to pack Tigger's things." Tigger packed all his games and his stuffed animals in a box, and he took out his favorite lion and hugged him tight. "I want you to stay with me," he said. Rabbit carefully packed Tigger's dishes. Kanga gently packed Tigger's clothes, and Pooh and Piglet packed up all of Tigger's food. This is part 1.